Hi everyone and welcome to KRYPTALK, that Irish guy that talks about Bitcoin. So this week Bitcoin finally set a new all-time high, but it still hasn't broken the $20,000 level. So we're going to take a look at that. We're also going to talk about how MicroStrategy has purchased another 50 million worth of Bitcoin and how this bull market is different to 2017's bull market. Let's get started. Sorry, I almost forgot. First, take a quick look at this.
This is the KRYPTALK YouTube channel. If you're watching this video and you haven't yet clicked on the subscribe button, go ahead and click it now, and the bell notification icon. That way you'll get an update every time I upload a new video and you can stay up to date with the latest Bitcoin price action and news.
This is episode number 23 and the title of this episode is 5 reasons why this year's bull run is different. But first, a quick look at the charts.
Okay, let's get the basics out of the way. So this is the Kraken chart. These are 1 hourly candles and Bitcoin is trading at $19,027. So during the week, Bitcoin did it. It finally broke out and hit a new fresh all-time high of $19,951 on the Kraken chart. Victory! Let's just have a quick look at what I've said in previous episodes. Heading up and hopefully hitting all-time highs to kickstart this next bull run to the short-term target of $14,000, maybe later on in the year, $20,000, hopefully hitting an all-time high. But again, there's really no resistance because it's price discovery mode, so it could make a run for $20,000 before the end of the year or early 2021.
I want to be blatantly clear on this. I believe Bitcoin is going to hit a new all-time high within the next 12 months. If you disagree with me, drop a comment down in the comment section below.
Yeah, so this didn't come as a massive shock to me. I've been saying it for months. I've been saying it for years actually at this stage. So Bitcoin has finally hit its all-time high. Now, just if we're looking at the Kraken chart, the all-time high is $19,950, whereas the previous all-time high in December 2017, it was $19,650. So it only broke the previous all-time high by 300, and it still hasn't broke 20K. I'm sure it will, but let's just have a look at what happened after it hit this new all-time high during the week. It took a bit of a correction, went down as far as 18,800, which is just a 9% pullback, and since then it's been trading inside in this consolidation pattern, this green triangle here. So as you can see here, the resistance is holding the price down here, this downward sloping diagonal line. It has a point of contact here, 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 and then 2 other points of contact here. The support line isn't this clean cut. It has a lot of kind of support here, a lot of accumulation here, and then a few wicks down here. So here, here, and here, these are all support contacts. So I'm expecting a breakout sometime before the 9th of December. That's in 3 days' time. That would be Wednesday coming. Now, another reason I think a breakout is imminent besides this consolidation pattern is because I can see here the volume is decreasing. The volume's dropping off, and that's usually an indicator that a breakout is imminent as well. Now, I'm tending to think that this is a continuation pattern and it will continue to the upside, and this week could be the week that we break 20K. I'm just going to show you why. So what I've done here is I just switched to the daily, and we're going to go back as far as the 29th of April of this year. Now what you can see here is that Bitcoin was clearly in a consolidation pattern as well, characterized by this resistance line and this support line. You have a really kind of a wide-sided triangle here. It's gradually the price action is narrowing, and then a breakout occurred. Also, what you can also see here is kind of something like just like a larger version of what we're going through at the moment. You can see declining volume. And then you have your breakout to the upside. Now what happened after that? It did break up to the upside, but it had a kind of a Bart Simpson pattern. That's not a joke. That's just something that's kind of typical. We see it in Bitcoin a lot. We don't tend to see it in traditional assets. So it entered another consolidation pattern. And as you can see here again, declining volume. And then you had a breakout there at the 8th of October. Now staying with the daily chart, we're just fast forwarding on to the 5th of November. Bitcoin entered a consolidation pattern just for a few days here. And again, declining volume. Now sticking with the daily chart, I've just introduced 2 indicators, the Bollinger Bands and the EMA ribbon. So the Bollinger Bands, this green area here, this green line, this red line, this green area below. And as you can see, the Bitcoin price is clearly trading above the basis of the Bollinger Band represented here by this red line. That's a bullish sign because Bitcoin tends to be in a bull run or price is increasing when it's above the basis and the opposite when it's below. Also, it doesn't seem to be overextended because a lot of times, see the way these lines here are close to the top line, this green line of the Bollinger Bands? It doesn't seem to be climbing out of that or close to that. And when it is, it's a sign that it's overbought or overextended. Now having a look at the EMA ribbon, that's these yellow lines and orange lines below, it's kind of similar. Bitcoin is clearly above the EMA ribbon. It's not even seeking support from it, which is also a bullish sign. Bearing in mind these 2 indicators and the fact that Bitcoin is in a sideways consolidation pattern, pair that with decreasing volume, as you can see here. Yeah, a breakout is imminent, and I'm thinking that's going to happen before the 9th of December. That's this Wednesday. Could be to the upside, could be to the downside. I tend to think to the upside, bearing in mind what we've seen over the last few months and that have indicated in this TA. So in summary, Bitcoin this week finally hit a new fresh all-time high of $19,950. Still hasn't broke that 20k. We still haven't seen a 30 or 40% correction. Yeah, that's it for the charts for today.
So that brings us to the main focus of this episode. 5 reasons why this year's bull run is different to 2017. Number 1, Bitcoin's base price is higher. It's been trading over $10,000 for over 135 days. That's a record. Every time it does this, the record gets extended by 1 day.
Number 2,
institutional interest. Companies like Grayscale, MicroStrategy, PayPal and Guggenheim are investing in Bitcoin now. They're putting massive amounts of money into Bitcoin. This wasn't happening in 2017. Number 3, the market cap is higher and it recently hit an all-time high. So if you take every single Bitcoin available at the moment that has been mined, that's 18.5, and multiply it by its current price, which is around $19,000, you get the market cap. The market cap is up around $370 billion. That makes it harder to manipulate the market. This is not financial advice. Number 4, slow, sustainable growth. Even though Bitcoin has rallied from $4,000 up to just under $20,000 in less than a year, for Bitcoin standard, that is actually a lot slower than what happened in 2017. Remember, 2017, Bitcoin opened December 1st, 2017 at $10,000 and 16 days later, it was trading at $20,000. Unsustainable growth. Number 5, scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, and 18.5 million have been mined to date. And after Bitcoin halving in May, now the supply is down to 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And they're getting gobbled up and bought up by these massive companies like Grayscale at an unsustainable rate. That's going to push the price up over the long term.
Alright, the first article I'm going to take a look at is one I mentioned earlier in the episode. MicroStrategy buys additional 50 million in Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy are a company that came out recently and they said they're buying it as a hedge against inflation because Bitcoin's price tends to appreciate, whereas fiat currencies like the dollar, the pound, the euro, they tend to, their buying power tends to decrease over time. So if you look at this here, in August 2020, they bought 21,454 Bitcoin. In September 2020, 16,796. And then this is the recent 50 million purchase. So they bought 2,554. So if you multiply 2,554 by the average price that they brought it at, was 9,500. There you get your 50 million. So they're kind of doubling down their bet there. Even at this prices, they still see it as good value. Second article is also by CoinDesk, and the headline reads, Psychology, sell pressures keep Bitcoin below $20,000. So this article is interesting because it potentially explains why the $20,000 level is so significant and so hard to get above. So the article goes on to explain that the reason why it's so hard for Bitcoin to break over that $20,000 level is really simple. There are too many sell orders very near the $20,000 level because some Bitcoin traders are afraid of near-term sell-offs. And that makes sense because roughly $20,000 was what it topped out in 2017. So there could be a lot of people who have held their Bitcoin through that bear market and they just want to break even. They're done with it. They want to get out. They don't care about Bitcoin. They just don't want to, they want to break even. They're happy enough with that. So they're anticipating this massive sell-off if Bitcoin was to hit the $20,000 level. And also forget about those people. What about the traders who bought at 4,000 back in March, or even 10,000 or 12,000 along the last few months? Like, they would probably, if they've made serious gains, so they want to take profits. So $20,000 level is probably a smart bet for them because they anticipate this sell-off. So that's another reason. So there's a lot of people willing to sell, or sell orders gone in at 20,000. So that's why Bitcoin is kind of at this $19,000 level and struggling to get any higher at the moment. The next article is by theconversation.com, and the headline reads, Bitcoin's rebound, 3 reasons this time is sort of different. The first point they make is that digital money is coming. So because of what's going on in the world at the moment, there is a dramatic decrease in people using cash and a massive increase in cashless payment systems. Of course, that's exactly what Bitcoin is. It's a decentralized cashless payment system that has no physical presence. People can argue that it's not really used for payments that much. It's more of a store of value. But that being said, it is digital. It has no physical present. It's completely cashless. The second point they make is that the technology is maturing. More people than ever know what Bitcoin is. The institutions are starting to see its value. There's more infrastructure in place. You can now buy cryptocurrency on PayPal, on your Revolut. And whole new layers are being developed that will allow blockchain technologies to be used in financial markets. So even if the financial markets don't have any interest in Bitcoin, they do have interest in blockchain, which it can be used for security. It's basically the network that Bitcoin runs on. And time again, we're seeing this argument institutions see its value. So not only do institutions like Grayscale and MicroStrategy are they actually buying, but institutions like JP Morgan Chase have actually done a U-turn. In 2017, Jamie Dimon came out and said he would fire anyone in his company buying Bitcoin, and since then he's kind of done a U-turn almost, and he's starting to see its value. Now, the article does kind of sign off with, should you buy Bitcoin? Not really, it's still a gamble. I obviously completely disagree with that. I think the gamble is actually not owning Bitcoin, but again, nothing on this channel is financial advice. And the last article I'm going to take a look at here is by effectstreet.com. The headline reads, Bitcoin price prediction. Bitcoin looks poised for a 16% downswing to $15,500 before recovery occurs. So the article claims that Bitcoin is fighting tooth and nail to hold above $19,000 and avoid possible losses to $15,500. So Bitcoin is drawing closer to a significant breakdown. The flagship cryptocurrency's bulls are working tooth and nail to hold above the $19,000, and a free fall will come into play if Bitcoin breaks under the ascending triangle's hypotenuse. So this is the triangle that he's talking about there. So if I just switch over to my own chart, I've kind of replicated his chart and put it on my own chart. So here you have a horizontal line, and then here you have your kind of your support line ascending. So this is your ascending triangle. So they're characterized by, you have a kind of horizontal resistance. So you have a point of contact here, here, some fake outs here and here. So this is his triangle that he's talking about. So in this ascending triangle, this is the right angle, this would be the hypotenuse. And he's saying that if the Bitcoin price breaks this hypotenuse, breaks this support line, we could be looking at a target of 15,500. So if I just take this, and let's say it breaks out right now, and then if I move down, we'll see the target. So there the target would be, 15,500. I get what he's saying, but I disagree with him, because ascending triangles statistically break out to the upside. So if we saw a breakout and it broke up to the upside, they can break down, I get what he's saying, but statistically, they actually break to the upside. So let's say it breaks out here. So then you're looking at a target of $22,681. Now, maybe it's hopium, maybe I'm too positive, maybe I'm too bullish, but I believe that scenario is more likely than the breakdown to 15,500. And if I'm wrong, I don't care, because it breaks down to 15,500 and accumulates there. You get some cheap Bitcoin before blasting off to the upside. Yeah, that's it for today.
All right, everyone, that's the end of this episode. Thanks very much for watching, whether you're new or you're a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, maybe you'll consider it. If you've learned something new or got any sort of value from the episode, just click that like and subscribe button. And as usual, shláinte. Bye 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 bye.